The story begins with Akito Midori, a 27-year-old worn down by the monotony of her daily routine. Her boss advises her to defer a meal until the next day to prevent the company from going bankrupt. However, as her life ends as a result of her miserable job, she finds an angelic figure appearing before her eyes. The godly figure offers her a chance at revival in a world where humans persecute other species. Intrigued, Akito seizes the opportunity and chooses the power to control and coexist with animals. A childhood dream that can now become a reality and heal her tarnished soul. With the angel's blessing, Akito, now known as Nefertima, is reborn into a new family. In front of her eyes is her brother Ralph and her mother Karina. 3 years pass before she can move and speak. Nefertima finds joy in playing with her devoted giant dog, D, expressing gratitude for her carefree existence surrounded by a variety of animals and birds. Leaving her beloved on her mother's call, Nefertima takes a cart and marvels at the pleasant weather. Striding along, she now finds herself alone in the forest. Animals from the jungle surround her, and a giant tiger wrasse appears before he and befriends Nefertima. Meanwhile, Wilhelt discovers them and gets surprised by the tiger's tameness. He learns she is from the Osvi family and takes her to her father. At her home, Nefertima defends her choice to explore, mentioning that life inside the cart has been pretty boring for her. Gualdi, who is revealed as the king, invites her to play any time to kill her boredom. Cerulia arrives, expressing concern about finding an open window and Nefertima missing. Nefertima admits riding the celestial tiger and shares that Gualdi allowed her to play with it anytime. Her mother advises discretion, aware of potential surprises. Daland and O's father note the celestial tiger's loyalty to its master and hint at Nefertima's potential supernatural power. Cerulia emphasizes the celestial tiger's magical nature. Later, Nefertima visits her sibling's academy, marveling at its beauty. She's captivated, having never left the castle before. Nefertima watches her brother and sister perform, accompanied by her mother. Advised not to cause trouble, she explores with her mother and eventually witnesses a magic-infused battle resembling chess. Ralph emerges victorious, and Nefertima, Oif, her mother and her father, celebrate his success. After Ralph's victorious battle, Nefertima congratulates him, and grateful for her constant support, he lifts her in his arms. Later, Nefertima, looking for the bathroom, encounters Ralph with his friend Tristan. Ralph, jokingly asking Tristan to leave with her, sparks a disagreement. When Tristan mocks Nefertima, she scolds him, leading to a physical confrontation that Ralph intervenes in. The prince arrives, inquiring about the situation. Nefertima, hiding behind Ralph, responds defensively, not wanting the prince to grab her. The prince playfully engages with her, and despite her initial upset, he assures her the freedom to come and go from the palace. Tristan questions this decision, but Wilhelt, approves, teasing Nefertima in the process. Ralph interrupts, claiming Nefertima has a presentation offer, surprising Wilhelt. As they enter the academy, Nefertima sarcastically tells Vil to call her Nefertima and reflects on the unique choice of her name. In her thoughts, they all share a laugh, and they proceed into the academy together. Following the academy event, Wilhelt, Nefertima, and Ralph join their parents. Wilhelt reassures them, emphasizing his role as a student rather than a ruler. Nefertima notices a magical circle and questions its purpose. Wilhelt explains it's for her test, summoning a sacred fire dragon and defeating it using her magic. Wilhelt instructs the knights to protect the onlookers, discussing Karna's fire skills with her father. Nefertima, concerned for her sister, witnesses Karna's fearless approach to the challenge. As the dragon seems out of control, Nefertima leaves, prompting Wilhelt to jump over a wall. Nefertima rushes to the dragon, urging others not to harm it. Her unexpected actions surprise everyone. Nefertima, facing the great fire dragon, gained courage and asked it not to harm humans. The dragon, with its own reasons for attacking, questioned her lack of fear. Nefertima, expressing her desire to feel them, touched the dragon's cold and soft scales, surprising everyone. Despite the royal guard's readiness to attack, Prince Wilhelt stopped them, allowing Nefertima to interact with the dragon peacefully. In gratitude, the dragon gave Nefertima a magical orb, explaining its ability to connect with the wearer's spirit and grant access to its magic. She thanked Sun and learned that her family, especially her sister Kara, was concerned for her well-being. Daland, Duke Daland, considered extreme measures, contemplating buying knives for protection. However, Nefertima and her family deemed it excessive. They later visited King Opi, formally introducing Duke Daland and his wife Carulia Osfi as powerful and wealthy individuals. Duke Daland clarified that there was no formal pact as the dragon left on its own. King pressed for information on whether Nefertima could harness the dragon's powers. Daland admitted the possibility but cautioned about the potential risks. Galda sought reassurance, and Daland swore by the OPI name, surprising Nefertima, as breaking such an oath could lead to dire consequences. Salazar, the magic laboratory director, explained the magic invocation Circulus Accuracy and Nefertima's insufficient power to summon a fiery dragon. The king, considering Divan will, questioned Daland further. Nefertima, recalling her encounter with God, pondered his involvement. Galdi also wanted to hear from Abbot's father, who believed God had a plan involving the fiery dragon. Nefertima identified Abbot's father as a potential problem, using God's name to manipulate others. Despite her suspicions, Nefertima decided it was too early to draw conclusions. Her current goal was to enjoy petting cute animals, but Prince Wilheld's interference frustrated her, unable to confront him due to his royal status. Observing Nefertima's boredom, Prince Wilheld suggested she play with Lars, a proposition both Goldie and Daland found agreeable. When Lars approached, the prince asked Nefertima to feed him, a sight that surprised everyone as she fed the tiger without harm, albeit with some inevitable drool. Grateful for a servant's assistance, Nefertima felt delighted and continued playing with Lars until she fell asleep on him, astonishing those around her. Despite the apparent tenderness of the scene, Daland contemplated the potential benefits of her connection with the dragon for the kingdom's advantage in combat. Minister of the Interior, intrigued by Nefertima's ability to befriend animals without mana, approached Daland, expressing concern about her safety. The father then approached, offering to care for Nefertima, but Daland declined, stating that his daughter wouldn't become anyone's puppet. Cerulia countered with biblical references, quashing the topic before it reached Galdi. When Nefertima woke up, she found her parents reassured by the king's protection. Prince Wilheld also wanted to gift her, and they all waited together in a room. Fields, the leader of the 2nd Squadron of the Royal Guard, was appointed by the prince to take care of Nefertima. Fils, finding Dan's informal manner displeasing, took Nefertima to a special place in the royal palace. Despite their differences, Dan, the caretaker, showed Nefertima around, revealing his responsibility for small dragons and wingless dragon subspecies. Nefertima found the dragons cute and expressed her desire to pet them. Attempting to use the orb given by Sunshine, Nefertima unintentionally alarmed the dragons, prompting a large dragon named Giselle to approach. Giselle, recognizing the fiery dragon's presence in Nefertima, welcomed her as the Maiden of the Dragons. Taking her to a field of flowers, Giselle introduced Nefertima to other dragons, allowing her to enjoy the surroundings and play. Dan was surprised by Nefertima's knowledge of Giselle and her ability to ride the proud dragon. In a surprising turn of events, Nefertima returned with Lars, the prince's sacred beast, creating a unique scene with a little girl surrounded by dragons in the care of the royal guard. Nefertima informed them that they had reached the Monster Knight's stable, home to many rare creatures. Captain Leston Ogma, known as Leston, greeted them and took them on a tour. Leston, impressed by Nefertima's kindness and cheerfulness, reflected on Dan's description of her as an ordinary girl. However, Leston's friend revealed that the red dragon submitted to Nefertima, allowing her to ride it. Leston, recalling Dan's passion for dragons, remembered that he had left the Monster Knights to join the Dragon Knights and become their leader. Despite this, Leston acknowledged Nefertima as a charming young girl. The scene shifted to Nefertima, Leston, and Dan arriving at the monster stable, where Nefertima expressed her excitement, comparing it to a safari. Dan explained the magical preservation of the place for the animals' better life, and Leston suggested a horseback tour. Whistling, Leston summoned a horse named, which Nefertima admired for its silky mane and brave elegance. However, when Leston proposed playing, the horse refused, revealing a selfish streak. Nefertima explained that the horse is leader of the herd, cautioning Leston to be careful. When Dan and Nefertima rode Hugh, a horse, Nefertima panicked near playful piglets, but Leston assured her. Monster Knights face injuries yearly from such encounters. Leston's horse stopped piglets, saving them. The tour continued, encountering wakabirds. Despite Leston's warning, Nefertima expressed interest in riding one. Excited, Nefertima felt the bird's softness. The Leviathan soared, making Nefertima breathless. Leston apologized for forgetting a spell, and after a thrilling ride, they witnessed a falcon. Nefertima desired to hold it, but her hands were too small. A message from the falcon led Leston to apologize for leaving due to a follower's trouble. He promised a broader tour later. Nefertima expressed a wish to see Gizeli, and the scene shifted to Lestin instructing soldiers to track the escaped White Isla with dogs. The soldiers move quickly, and Lestin talks to himself, expressing frustration about the worst day ever. He reminisces about Nefertima playing and noting that everyone loves her. When he opens his eyes, he sees Nefertima with the escaped creature. Nefertima explains she found it while returning from visiting Giselle and brought it back. Lestine is delighted. Nefertima, with her keen awareness, quickly finds the white Isla, surprising Lestin. Reflecting on not underestimating people, he acknowledges hidden talents in others. After Nefertima's birthday celebration, she convinces her family to let her go to the city with her sister Karna and Paul for safety. They explore the vibrant city, experiencing its districts and enjoying a lively market. Nefertima learns about currency and successfully manages her first shopping trip. She playfully involves Paul and shares laughter with her family, concluding with a special birthday treat for her dog. Nefertima follows a delightful aroma to a bakery and discovers a pastry called Baby. Excited, she buys 20 pieces with a bonus from the baker. Nefertima continues her joyful shopping adventure, buying sweets for her family. Later, they enter a tavern, where Karna's friends make disparaging remarks about Nefertima's lack of magical abilities. Karna defends her sister, and they decide to leave. Nefertima reflects on the encounter, appreciating her sister's support. Returning home, she finds a surprise birthday celebration with family and friends. They gave her gifts, including a necklace with a magical stone. Nefertima expresses gratitude, and as night falls, she reflects on an enjoyable day, naming her new friend Nox.